1-6-2-5. It's one of the most common chord progressions in music. Rhythm changes, standards, even pop tunes use it. We use it as an intro, and we use it as a turnaround. But it's just a cycle. It just brings us back to where we started. And it happens so often that we have to do something with it, or it's going to get pretty boring. We don't want it to sound like a 4-chord pop tune. In this video, we're going to look at 6 ways to modify this chord progression. Hi, Dr. George with Jumpstart Jazz Guitar. This channel is here to help you start playing jazz as quickly as possible. In these videos, I'm sharing the same materials I use to teach my students, and I hope that they're inspiring you to play better. If that's all you need, that's great. New videos will be posted regularly, and I'm happy to answer any questions you have. Just drop them in the comments section. So make sure to subscribe and hit the bell to be notified when one drops. Now, if you're serious about mastering jazz guitar and you want to start making real progress, sign up for a free lesson with me. We'll chat and I'll listen to you play, and then I'll tailor a personalized 30-day plan to get you on the fast track. Helping students make better music is what I did for 30 years as a professor at leading universities in the US and Asia. Let me do the same for you. Just click the link below and schedule your free lesson now. The simplest way to change things is just to change the voicings. We could start out with something simple like this. And then later, play these voicings. Or even these. And so we end up with something like this. There are a lot of different ways we can change the chords. One of the most basic is by using chord extensions, or tensions for short. The basic chord sound is defined by the root, the third, and the 7th of the chord. Now we omit the 5th unless it's altered. If there's a bass player, you don't need the root, so that leaves us with just 2 notes. We can add chord tones or available tensions to any chord. Tensions are 9, 11, and 13, and their alterations, flat 9, sharp 11, and flat 13. If you need to learn more about what notes to add to each chord, check out this video. Dominant chords are a special case. The diatonic tensions would be 9 and 13. But sometimes they sound better with altered tensions. Sometimes the melody will dictate that. Ultimately, it comes down to what you think sounds best. Another way to change the chords is using diatonic substitutions. Now, diatonic chords can be grouped into 3 functions: tonic, subdominant, and dominant. The tonic group includes 1, 3, and 6. The subdominant group is 2 and 4, and the dominant group is 5 and 7. We can replace one chord with another from the same function. Now, you want to pay attention to the root movement, too. Down a 5th is the strongest root movement. And in fact, 1-6-2-5 is derived from 1-4-5 using diatonic substitutions. By adding the 6 chord and then replacing the 4 with the 2 chord, we end up with root movements of down a 5th. Replacing the tonic chord with a 3 gives us another down a 5th root movement. Now, one other diatonic substitution you might want to consider is to replace the 5 with a 5 sus. We don't always want our chords to be diatonic. The 2, 3, and 6 chords can be replaced with secondary dominants. Now you have to be careful to not clash with the melody, and during solos you have more freedom, but of course always listen to your soloist too. A variation of that is to use diminished seventh chords to replace the dominant seventh chords. This creates a chromatic root movement. And we can take it one step further. Another option is to use a borrowed chord. Generally, we'll replace the 2 chord with a 2 minor 7 flat 5. When we do that, we're probably going to follow it with an altered dominant. The last technique we'll look at is tritone substitutions. Now, we're not going to go digging into the theory here, but essentially, tritone subs create chromatic lines. We can replace the dominant 7th chords with another dominant 7th chord a tritone away, which will create a chromatic line for us. And we're still using the same thirds and sevenths. You can also use tritone subs as approach chords. And we can take it one step further and approach all of the chords. Most of the time, the harmonic rhythm for 1-6-2-5 is going to be 2 beats per chord, but it can be longer. Sometimes it's 1 measure, sometimes it's even 2 measures. And don't get around much anymore. We can walk up to the 3 chord and then walk down to the 6 chord before resolving 2-5-1. If we strip that down a little bit, we end up with just these 4 chords. These same techniques will work on any chord progression, and if you follow them all to their logical conclusion, it's going to open up a whole new world of voicings for you. If you'd like a PDF of all of the chord progressions that we've covered in this lesson, join my free Patreon group and you can download it. Diatonic substitutions, the key to changing the chords. And if you want to know more about that, check out this video.